episode, and then I found out she was coming back for season 3, and I was like, Tessa Monson? They were like, yeah. Did you guys? Well, she's going to be in a lot of it, and she's going to work with you, so we want to make sure that you're cool with that. I'm definitely cool with working with an adamant, talented professional like herself. So I would love to do that. And then immediately I was like, hey, we might be working together more. We should hang out.
I just met her. She's the kindest soul. She's so sweet. So I totally get it. My second question would be, at what point in your career did you think, wow, this is it, I made it?
I don't think I'm there yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think you are.
Thank you. Yes and no. I know I'm at a point in my career that I'm very happy about. Don't get me wrong. Like it's moving. I've had the pleasure to not need to have another job for most of it, which is great. That's a certain pedestal in the acting world when you're like, I can get rid of my Joe job. I don't have to work at the coffee shop or as a waiter anymore. Acting does it. But then that's one thing I'm trying to figure out right now too. I'm trying to like reach the level without always looking up, being satisfied where I am. And that's hard to do when you're passionate about something. But it's really important to know that that's all an illusion, and that's all an illusion if you allow it to be recognized. This is it. So I don't think I've made it as a. I don't have people sending me scripts in the mail saying, please be in my movie. I think that's when I know I've made it. I don't think it's an award or anything. I think it's at the point where other curious, creative artists that I'm inspired by see me in a similar way, as a peer that they want to work with. That's when I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm at the point that I've always wanted to be at. But I know it's like, they say every mountain you climb, you only see that there's another peak. So when I get there, I don't know what the next one will be. But that's what I'm looking towards. The place where I have a lot more control over what I'm doing and when and with whom.
Thank you so much. Just one last thing. What was your favorite book that was ever recommended to you?
Oh, good question. Ever recommend? Oh, a lot of people know this. It's on Chicago Fire on the set. Christian Stolte, who plays Mouch, he's a big reader and he's brilliant, hilarious. And him and I were talking one day. And he goes, you know, there's a book that I was recommended that I think you would love. It's called The Library at Mount Char. It's awesome.
Okay.
I highly recommend. The Rosende Reads crew is like smiling right now because they're like, man, he talks about that book a lot. The Library at Mount Char by Scott Hawkins. And if someone wants to tweet it or post it, I can share it. Or I bet someone else here. Yeah, but we'll figure it out. It's really great. Couldn't recommend it.
I write it down. Thank you so much, Alberto.
Thank you. Well, I think one of the things that's like difficult to do is you have to get rid of the idea, or not get rid of, just find out what success means for you. For me, it wasn't a financial thing. It was the ability to play with the people that I wanted to play with. And that's still kind of how I see it. And then there's the idea of the 3 pillars of growth. The learning, so watching movies, watching plays, watching the people that inspire you do it. Then there's the learning, and then the reading. So there's the learning by watching, the learning by reading. Those are 2 separate pillars. So read the books by actors that talk about it. Read books by Uta Hagen. She has 2 books. Respect for Acting is the second one that she wrote after the first one. The first one she was like, that's garbage. Read this one instead. Konstantin Stanislavski's like the father of method acting. Allow that to guide you. Like, yeah, I want to learn more about this, and I like the way this person acts. Why? What did they do? How did they learn? What did they study? And then the third part is doing it. Start small. I know that there's always a community theater, or everyone has an iPhone now, so you can shoot things on your own. You can take scripts that are already written. You can Google your favorite movies and say like, this movie, script PDF, and it might pop up. And then you can read it and be like, I want to do this scene, and then you can perform it with friends, or put it on camera, find out the knowledge of like how to shoot a scene. If I'm going to try to do film, how do they do that, and why? Why do they use different shots and different camera lenses and different, like there's so many questions, but The first and most important one is, in a scene, is like, what am I doing? So a person's not just sad, they're having something taken away from them. So that makes them sad, right? Yeah, so it's just, for me, it was trying to learn as much as I can and then trying to do it as much as I could. And then the more you put yourself in those positions, you're meeting other people that are your peers that are doing it. Like in college, I knew I wanted to do more film. So I started going to the film parties and making friends with filmmakers at parties. And then they're like, hey, I need an actor to shoot this short that I wrote. Will you be in it? Yeah. When do you want me there? Here's the script. We'll see you there on Saturday. And then you memorize your lines and you go and you do your best. And then you watch it and you're like, oh, that was kind of bad. But you see a moment where you're like, but that moment's good. What was I doing there? Oh, I was just having fun. Oh, that's important. And then you do it again, and then that filmmaker has another friend who's like, actually, I just worked with this actor, and they seem to be pretty available, so if you need someone, I can give you their number. You know, it's just start putting yourself around it as much as you can. And know that if an experience doesn't serve you, if it's a director that's kind of a jerk, or a script that you read, you're like, this is bad, or I don't want to do this, then don't. Just throw it over your shoulder and forget about it. But the ones that you like, you can keep moving forward.
How did you learn to never give up?
I don't want to say that I don't have the thought. There are times when I'm like, I'm done, forget this, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna go do, oh shit, I can't do anything else. So like, I don't think those moments are bad when you say, I'm giving up for now. I think that's a really helpful phrase. I'm giving up for now. And then tomorrow you wake up and you're like, I am ready to get hurt again. It's just something, it's muscle. The more you do it, the easier it gets to keep going. I know that some people do like a practice, like running. Running sucks. It's really hard. And there's a point in your run where you're like, I want to quit, but I still have to run home. So there's a value in learning to train yourself in that muscle in a different way, you know? It's all tricking your brain, I think. So you find the way that your brain talks and then you find the trick. That's why I listen to this guy. And then I go, that's a really good idea. No, shut up. Because I listen to him, and that's all my brain wanted, but then I can move forward. All right, we have time for 2 more questions.
Thank you. Hi, yesterday you said that you are a cat person, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So my question would be, if you were a cat, what would you look like? And what would you like the most?
It's funny because like some people are like, I want to be a jungle cat. I'm like, no, I want to be a house cat for like just a nice family, you know. And I think I would look like my cat Stella because she's like gorgeous and regal and extremely athletic, and it's annoying because she does nothing but sleep all day until she's like, oh, I'm gonna jump onto that. I'm like, how did you do that? I've seen you do nothing but eat and sleep. So yeah, I think I would look, because I like that she's like weatherproof. Like, she's a Maine Coon, so she's got this long, thick fur, so sometimes I know she gets hot if we don't have the air conditioning on or something. So I like that, and it's soft and cuddly, but cats are ferocious when they want to be. Not because you need them to be, it's a choice. I love that. So yeah, I'd look like Stella, and I'd want to be like a domestic house cat. In a lovely family, nothing too big, just a nice, loving family where they want to cuddle me and I can decide when. But I get fed twice a day.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Hi. What was the scene when you came out from the earth? When you came as a vampire, yeah.
Okay, so 2 things. That scene was really cool logistically, because it was the first time that I'd been on a set where I was like, how do they do that? Like, how do I come out of the ground? they dig a big hole and they put a box in the hole and then they cover the box. So you're not really under that much dirt. They put like a thin layer. Did you guys see the Dune popcorn bucket? Kind of, the entrance kind of looks like that. So you crawl in through that, and then you're sitting in there and you're like, God, it's dark. And then someone's like, hey man, you're like, whoa! Have you been down here the whole time? You're like, yeah, I'm the PA who's gonna tell you when they say action. And I'm like, do they give you a light? No. Do you want one? That'd be nice. Okay. Let me see if I can get you one. And then you're sitting there, and it's a small box because they want to dig too big of a hole. And then they say action, and you're just like. And then you crawl out of it, and it's really hard to crawl out of, so all of that's real. It's not like I'm trying to do anything, I'm trying to get out of the hole. So logistically it was really cool, and at first I was really worried about it, because like we were in a real cemetery, and there's something bad vibes about like being buried alive in like a real cemetery where other people aren't, and I feel like they're jealous. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, I don't really want to be here. I'm not trying to disturb anyone. I gotta finish this. So it was like really cool, really fun, and in the books, it's such a cool scene. You know, to have like also from Clary's perspective, like witnessing Simon change from this beautiful, lovely boy to this monster. She had no idea what she did. And Simon had to like live with that. So like reading the books, Daniel Radcliffe talks about this. He was like, you know, one of the coolest things about Harry Potter was like reading Harry Potter and then seeing what I was gonna get to do. And I feel the same way about Simon. I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be nuts. How are they gonna do this? And how am I gonna do this? And so yeah, it was a really fun experience. And it was one of the, what episode was that? That was like the 3rd episode. Or no, 8th episode. Anyway, yeah, it was really cool.
Thank you.
Oh, of course. You join the con. I say this at the end of every Rosende read session, like keep questioning things, keep growing, keep being curious, and continue to be positive forces in your communities. Communities are a really important thing that you get to build. So like, recognize that it's your seeds, like your soil that you're planting seeds in, and you have control of that. So like, keep doing that, keep having fun.